Hey everyone, jcarmine960 here, coming to you with some Hearthstone action. I want to try to create a new video series where I focus on one deck for an entire season, one whole month of gameplay, see how high I can climb with it. And the decks I really want to try to focus on are just fun decks with a lot of RNG factors, or decks that I just think aren't super meta and stale to play. I might throw some meta ones in there, but I mean, if they're just, I don't know, some decks, like I play Priest and it's super effective, but the games are so long and so boring, especially when you get a Priest Mirror. You're just like, do I just roll the dice on the 50-50 and take 35 minutes of my life, or do I just throw away a win and call it a day and move on to the next game, right? So I do want to say this deck is super fun to play. It is the, of course, all-spell Mage. It is nowhere near top tier. I think, actually, if you go like S, A, B, C, this one I would put in a B tier. It is super fun to play. It is hyper, high roll, low roll. You have tons of stuff to do. You draw through your deck pretty quickly, and it's not too expensive. Some of these cards you probably already have. There are some epics in here like Power of Creation, Puzzle Box, and only one legendary that you can craft. Amazing Reno obviously comes from the Amazing Reno expansion, where the League of Explorers, where you have to kind of get to the end and unlock him. But it is super fun to play. It has tons of control, tons of AoE, it has burst, it has random generated minions through Font of Power as well as through Apexis Blast. You got another Wind Portal that gives you some minions. You also have Lord Draconic, which gives you 6/6 Dragon. So it is a super fun game to play, or a deck to play in these games. So right now I'm going to play against what looks like a decently aggro warrior here. So let's, this is good tempo, but I want to save this for one of his minions. So let's just roll. Ooh. Okay, so that's a really good combo there. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm going to drop this next turn and ping probably. He already has one lackey, so he might do, if he's got the Summoner Lackey, I can drop that down. But how you play this deck, you want to roll for your Font of Powers. Like, you want to mulligan for your Font of Powers early on. You want to get your Arcane Intellects, stuff like that. It's just super important cards early on that definitely help drive your game's agenda, which is discount your spells, get powerful spells, and just kind of dominate your opponent through that. So what I want to do right now is just control the board, control kind of how, shut down his game mode. Oh, 1 damage, that's so nice. Shut down what he wants to do, and really focus on getting some bursts in my hand and getting some minions to stick, freeze the board, and hit him in the face as hard as I can. So with a lot of the freeze that you run, there is no Frost Nova in this deck. It does focus more on that kind of tutor out your secrets, get those into play as cheap as possible, so you can kind of get that board control against your Demon Hunters and your Warriors and your Hunters. But you also want to get the freeze effects, Deep Freeze, Ray of Frost, Frostbolt, stuff like this. He has 1 charge left on his weapon. He's got 5 mana. If he wanted to do a weapon swing, equip a new weapon, he can't this turn. He either has to burn that charge to equip a weapon, or skip the weapon and throw off his mana a little bit. So that's kind of your main focus in a game like this. So now he's having to do his Armor Smith turn with his Risky Skipper super early. He's going to play the other bomb one. Oh, Blood Boil Brew, okay. Well, that's going to kill all the stuff on his board. So, and I can just ping this down and attack face, which is nice. Let us draw 2. Fireball is awesome. A secret is fantastic. So I'm going to have 1 mana because I am pinging this. Flame Ward is a good one to kind of get into the play now. Let's ping him. Let's punch him in the face. Force him to take 6 and then another 6 to trade that off. He might have Cobalt Lackey. He hasn't played it yet, but he's had a card in his hand since Mulligan. That's what the M is. And by the way, if you guys don't play with Hearthstone Deck Tracker, highly recommend it. It's awesome for Battlegrounds. It's awesome for Constructed. It's a lot of people are like, oh, it's a crutch. It's not necessarily that it's a crutch, but it's a great way to teach you what you should be looking for in your opponent's hand, what they could have, what they might not have. See, he's just going pure armor right now, so that's actually really good for me. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Okay, he's just digging. His hand must be garbage. Oh man, you love to see 4 mana deal 12. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to ping his face. These ones I'm not so scared of at all. I know that's kind of a wonky mana turn, but this one's too slow. And this I'm going to play next turn, just to kind of set up for 2 turns from now. He's done with Armor Smith, so I don't have to worry about him trying to Armor Smith his way into something. That's awesome to see, because I know he's not a Highlander singleton, so I'm not expecting a Zephyrs or even a Dragon Queen from him, so that gives me just a lot of information. Same thing with obviously the double Armor Smith. I have seen some double Armor Smiths still running Zephyrs, because you do draw through that deck pretty quickly. But yeah, there's some more Battle Rages. I mean, 2 Battle Rages, he might still throw a Zephyrs into this deck, because he draws through it pretty quickly. So I'm saving this for these, because this, you know, turns that up to 16. Just get a 5-drop. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see the high roll 5-drop. So now I have lethal next turn with Azure Explorer and a double Fireball, and that's how this deck gets played. You just kind of play your cards and play with the RNG that you have. If you're a big fan of Arena, which I am, there's a lot of Arena factor into this. Kind of the, what do you expect your opponent to possibly do, and what can you do to effectively stop him from trying to do his thing, or finding lethal whenever you can. So he's like, yeah, I got this really nice execute, blah, 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 but he doesn't understand that if he doesn't put armor on, he is dead. Okay, so that's perfect. But yeah, so let's talk more about like some of the control elements. I throw a polymorph in here just because sometimes you get those annoying res priests that, you know, they drop the 2/6 kill one of your minions guy, and you just need to polymorph that out. Or you got the glaive thrower from the demon hunters, which is really important. So there's a lot of stuff that you definitely want to kind of focus around when you're doing this. Number one, obviously, being what is my opponent playing. It doesn't matter what I pick, it's over. What is my opponent playing? What am I looking to do? What is my win condition aside from RNG? So that one was discount all my spells, nuke them in the face, right? Get spell damage off of my font of power, and yeah, that's it. So right now I'm 2-1. I won a mirror match, and I won this one. The first game I played was against a rogue. I had lethal in hand, and then he RNG'd a good heal for himself. So what I also want to do with this deck, just to give you guys a heads up, like I said, I'm gonna play this all the way till I hit Legend, which I've done before. Legend multiple times, Arena wins, 12-win arenas multiple times. But what I really want to do with this deck is I want to see how it scales and what my real win rate is, and what cards can I cut and can I not cut. Too many times people are like, yeah, I'm gonna get the best deck on the net and, you know, copy it and put it in, and then you play it 6 times and you went, you know, 2-4, and you're like, oh, this deck sucks, or 1-5, oh, I can't play this deck. But you play it against 3 hunters, which are your hard counters, and you don't really give a deck a chance. So that's what I'm trying to do here, and with Hearthstone Deck Tracker, it really gives you the ability to track those stats. So I'm going to keep on playing this. You guys look out for the next video. These are going to be kind of one game sort of things. You're going to see it in action. And I'm going to try my best not to play it on mobile. I'm going to try to save this. I'll do all my Battlegrounds on mobile, which is never fun. But and I'm going to try to save this game and my ranked season here for July 2020. I'm going to try to save this purely for actual on recording style gameplays, or even if I don't record every game, you guys can still see my progress, and I might stream some of it too. But that's it. Make sure you guys leave a like and a subscribe. Of course, if you want to see how this plays out and whether or not this deck can make it to Legend, with me piloting it, of course, let's see what we can do. You gotta like it, you gotta subscribe it, and you gotta turn on the notifications so you can be notified when the next set of videos goes live. And of course, until next time, I'll hopefully see you guys out there on the ladder.